Hey YouTube, how's it going? Buster here, Adventure Biker. So, hope you're all good. Happy Sunday. So, this is just a wee test. I'm going to start going live and having a wee regular co-host, so we'll say, with Scottish Biker Abroad. So, yeah, hope he's like the live stream. We're just going to talk mints for the next half an hour, so bear with us while we get used to this. So, I'll bring Biker in. All right, Scottish Biker Abroad, how's it going?
All right.
How's the weather at the Netherlands today?
It's raining and pretty hard as well.
It's the same here as well. So, what's your plans between now and when the good weather comes back in? What's your plans for that?
I'm going to try and get my Da Vinci, my editing on track. If you saw my videos, you saw they're pretty amateur videos, not really very professionally edited. So I want to try and get that a bit better.
Well, I'm the same.
I'll play a bit with my drone.
Well, I'm the same. I've downloaded Da Vinci now that I've got my new setup here. I'm running off a Mac Mini. And I'm just going to try and edit off of Da Vinci, but we'll be editing off of both editing apps. So if I do go out between now until after the kind of winter period, I'll still do my editing on the LumaFusion just to get the videos out, and I'll spend probably the winter months re-editing all the videos and footage from Budapest. So, and I'll use Da Vinci to do that and try and get my editing better as well, because mine's pretty amateur as well, with LumaFusion being so basic the way it is. I probably could. There probably is a way of doing it a bit better on LumaFusion, but we'll see how that goes. So, but I know it's getting used to doing this because I've never been on this side of this live stream before. So we'll see how many people actually come on since it's a Sunday. We might get a couple of people on because it's raining outside. So after the Christmas period and stuff, what have you got planned for next year?
The only thing I've really got in my calendar is coming out with you for the Fast weekend.
For the Fast thing. That'll be good.
Are you still going to be doing Gibraltar?
I'm still going to be doing Gibraltar. So my kind of calendar for next year's kind of busy. So the first thing I'll be doing is doing the Scottish thing with Chukter on a bike, who will be joining his own live eventually once his internet gets better. Then it's ABR in the end of June. As far as I know, there's me, you, and our other brother Stephen is going to be gone. So that's all. I think, I don't know if Chukter's going to be going or not. I've kind of suggested him going, but I don't know if he'll go. So the ABR's the end of June. July and August is probably when I'm going to go on holiday with my son, your nephew. And then 5th of September, I'll leave for Gibraltar. And I don't even know if who's gone. I don't know yet. As it stands right now, it's only me that's gone. 100%. So, yeah. I don't know if our brother Stevie will be gone.
I think, as you know, he doesn't ride very much. So that would be a big trip if he's not practiced.
I know it's. We'll see. I'm hoping between then. I'm hoping between then, now and then, he's going to get a bit a bit more practice in. All right, German jobbies, hope you're all right. Between then and so I'm hoping he's going to come in May with us as well, maybe get him a bit more into that, and the ABR, which I don't know if he's going to be doing any trails at the ABR. He's got a trail pass, but I don't know if he'll do any. So, aye. But Gibraltar will be good. But I've kind of said to everybody who have asked to go, come 6 o'clock, Saturday the 5th of September, I'll be leaving. If you're there, you're there. If you know, you know. I'm still gone. So we'll see. I've asked Jupiter to come. I've asked Stevie to come and the two boys, Andy and Muller. But we'll see what happens. And then after that, I've kind of I need to meet up with the Peaky Biker as well at some point.
Yeah.
Try and get a long weekend with him, maybe in the Lake District or kind of doing his neck of the woods. Maybe try and get him on a line.
Is he not going to the ABR?
He doesn't know yet. The last I heard, he wasn't going. But I've said to him that I might have a ticket for that weekend, since I've bought 2 tickets. So it was meant to be for somebody else, which I don't think they'll be coming now. So I said to him to leave it until near the time, and if I've got the ticket, then he's more welcome here. So we'll see what happens with that.
Because he said he wasn't going to go this year. In one of the videos.
But I think if he gets offered a free ticket, I think he would probably go. So I don't know if he has got one or know if he's changed his mind and he's already got it. I don't know. We'll see. But so I've got a couple of weekends booked in for next year as well. I've got a couple of tests, rides and reviews that I'm going to do next year as well. The V-Strom 1050, the V-Strom 800, DE and DL, the new Suzuki DRZ 450. I possibly could be test riding a CF Moto 450 as well. But we'll see.
I spoke to the dealer a couple of weeks ago, and he offered me the test ride on the CF 450 and 800. And he said if I want to try any of the Triumphs, I can come out and try the Triumphs. They've had a couple of open days the last couple of weeks, but it's always in a weekend where I've got something on. And the weather's not been that great, and I can't be bothered doing a test ride in this kind of weather. So I think it'll probably be next year before I get back out on test rides. I'm not to test the CF Moto, see what it's like.
Well, I was going to leave doing the test ride for that until you've done it, because you said you wanted the date first. So I was going to wait until you've done it first. But that bike garage down in Hillington, they do all they did CF Motos, they did Benelli's, the Royal Enfields and stuff like that. But I'll see. It's more MCS. They've changed out a Suzuki deal. They kind of suggested me putting because it's demo bikes, they want me to put the mileage on it before they hand it to somebody who might really know what they're doing. So he's like, you can stick a couple of 100 mile on the bikes for me if you want. I went, I'll do me. I'll do a couple of reviews on that. But I think that's because he wants me to change Big Jock to a Suzuki. But I don't see that happening. I'm also maybe looking into buying a Cove. So I don't know. I'm thinking about buying a Cove.
Where are you going to put it?
That's another thing. So I'm talking to a guy that's doing the street for me, doing Brown Street. Nobody would know where that would be, but renting a garage off them, so it's like a big lock-up. Because I've got my bike, and then I've got the chopper that's sitting outside the front of the house that needs stripped and rebuilt, and I've got no way to do it. So, and your nephew wants me to do that so he can do it up and sell it and sell a bike, because that was the deal. So if I do buy another bike, then I'm going to have to go down that route. I think is get a lock-up or somewhere. I want to take the Africa Twin out for sitting outside the house anyway. So
yeah.
So it's going to lock up, and I'm hoping to try and do that within the next couple of weeks.
You should really try and get it off the street. So
the thing is, because know that I'm saying anything about it, but I ride my bike all the time. It's not as if it's, I'm out my bike all the time. Finish work and I jump out on the bike, and weekends I'm out on the bike, and I would have been out today if I wasn't trying to sort this live stream it, regardless of the weather. But that's the thing, and I'm not one of these people that wash my bike and polish the wheels and make sure I don't care. It's a bike. It's a bike for using. So if the wheels are dirty and the undercarriage is dirty, then I like my bike to be dirty than used. So if you get any new kit that you bought or anything like that, because we date our message and stuff, but is there any
new kit? What have I bought the last? I'm always buying something, of course. I've got one of the bags lying here. I bought a couple of the bags that you bought.
Oh, the ones for the Temu.
The cheap Temu things.
The Temu specials. Yeah. I didn't get the logo on mine. I got the plain black one. But for the price that they were, they're really heavy duty material. They're just as thick, if not the same thickness as the Lomo bags you've got. Well, mine are anyway, I don't know yours.
They're the same. They're the same quality as the Lomo bags. What else have I bought? The DJI Flip, of course. I bought that a couple of weeks ago.
So if you don't know, if anybody is watching, and obviously people will be watching this later once it's been recorded. So if you don't know, Scottishbikerabroad went to go and buy a DJI Flip drone. And what happened to you on the way back for buying your drone?
It's no secret. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. I decided to go a bit cross country, and where I was riding, it had me rain for quite a while, and it was really soft sand, and I've only got road tires on my bike, so it wasn't a very good idea to go through that soft sand with road tires on. So I fell.
It happens to you.
And that wasn't really the problem, because I wasn't going that fast. And I think that was a part of the problem. After I looked at the video, I think that was a part of the problem, that I was actually being a bit too careful and riding a bit too slowly. But that wasn't really the problem. The problem was I know exactly how to pick a bike up. I've watched all the videos. I've talked about it before. But I don't know what happened. But I just lost control of my thoughts, and I tried to pick it up with my back, and I cracked my back. So I had to ride in, and it's like the other side of Holland. So I had to ride in with like severe pain in my back. So that's one of the reasons why I've not been out on the bike for the last couple of weeks.
Happens to us all. It happens to us all. I mean, I remember when I first picked up that Africa Twin, it was like literally brand new. Even though it was an ex-demo, it only had 250 mile on it. I went out well like this, away the other side of Glasgow, and ended up trying to turn the bike on a uphill adverse camber, and the thing just went boop on its side. It cracked the handguard, and that's how I ended up buying the backbusters for it. Well, I did, but I also replaced the original handguard. So I had the set, and then as soon as it came back for the garage, I put back busters on it, and then the full day levers. But I've got a big nasty dent in my tank. It's going to cost me £1,600 to either replace the tank, or it's going to be at least £500 to get the dent pulled. That happens. That happens.
I wasn't worried about dropping it. That wasn't the problem. And the thing that I should have done was side cam and looked at the bike before I tried to pick it up. The wheels were up in the air because I was in a rut. So when it fell on the high bit in the road.
Aye, so then it was.
You know what I mean? So the wheels were up in the air, and that made it even worse. And instead of staying calm, take my jacket off, take my helmet off, having a look, see, and move it a wee bit before I tried to pick it up. Stupidly, I tried to pick it up, and I've got that video, but that bit I haven't published. That bit where I tried to pick the bike up, and you hear me screaming as my back cracks.
It's probably, see if that was your old Tiger, it'd probably a different story. You probably just took your time, and then it's probably because it's your new bike. You've kind of went and lifted it. But
you hear me laughing when I fall, because it's not. I knew there wasn't going to be any damage. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I was worried about the bike. I knew there wasn't going to be any damage because I knew the way it fell and the way I came off. There wasn't any problem. But I knew I was in the middle of nowhere. There was nobody to help me. So I got a bit panicky and made a stupid mistake. But I think everybody can understand.
I relate to that. But what makes it better is, as you said to me on the phone after it, is when I say to you, I was doing stuff like that myself, you're the one to say to me, you shouldn't be doing stuff like that yourself. And you end up doing it. But aye.
That's what my wife said. She said, Did you not say to Alan that he shouldn't be doing stuff like that out in the middle of nowhere on his own? If he falls, he could get into trouble. I said, I know.
It's do what I say, not as I do in it at the end of the day. No, kit wise, I don't think I've got anything new kit wise. I got the boots at the ABR, which are they're brilliant boots. The new helmet, that technically is the new helmet. But apart from that, I don't think I've got a Dex 3. Is about the only new thing that I've bought. I'm trying to kind of hang off. I had the choice between buying a DJI Flip or buying this Mac Mini, and I thought, well, it's winter, so I'll buy the Mac Mini and do all the editing. I'll get the DJI for probably maybe going for Gibraltar. Maybe I'll get it for going to Gibraltar.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm on my Todd and I'll need to entertain myself somehow. Because nobody else wants to go and play with me.
I wouldn't even like to add up what all the kit cost. If I think about the last year and a half, 2 years, I bought a new bike, I bought 3 cameras, a drone. I think that suit that I've got is not even 2 years old. The boots are not even 2 years old.
You bought the suit just before we went to Budapest? Because because that other suit, you wanted a new suit for going to Budapest.
Bags.
Being a biker and doing this motor vlogging and stuff like that it's worse than a drug habit. You'd be cheaper with a coke habit. Honestly, God, you'd be cheaper with a coke habit. It's hard. Me and you don't really drink, so it's not as if it's probably. I was going to say it's like a night out, but it's probably more than a night out. But
it's probably more than a night out, but yeah. Now and again, my wife says to me, "Can you just stop for a wee bit?" You know what I mean?
It's never ending.
Because it's not just stuff for the bike. All in mics and that. I bought mics and all that kind of stuff. And that all the cables and mics, you don't even think about. But if you count that up, it's a load of money as well.
Aye, well, for setting this live stream up, obviously, one, I bought that Mac Mini for doing live stream and for doing editing, but I bought a big Jobby mic. We'll say Jobby, but it's not Joby, I think they pronounce it. But I bought a big one of them. I've obviously set up my GoPro as the camera, which took me ages. Aye, it just adds up. It adds up. But it's aye, but I look at. I don't think I've bought anything else really.
I've got some questions for you to keep it interesting.
Right, go for it then.
Right.
Buy but 20 quid's 20 quid.
I was going to buy you a t-shirt, and the only thing I was going to buy you a t-shirt. I saw a t-shirt, and the only thing I didn't buy it for is because it said on it, "I'm no gay" on the top, and then it said 20 quid, 20 quid. And I thought about the gay bit, and I thought, nah.
I'd wear it because that is the saying. I'm all gay, but 20 quid's 20 quid.
I know, but if it just said 20 quid's 20 quid, I would have bought it.
Right, so what's your question
then? If you're after like a twin quid top, what would it say about your navigation skills?
Fucking supreme. That's brilliant. It would probably turn and say to me, "Stop following Gary." No, my navigation skills actually, aye, they're all right actually, to be fair. Aye, they're not bad.
What's your yeah, I know the answer, but it's for the people that are listening or watching. What's your favourite navigation app?
Calimoto, definitely, because, well, we'll talk about it. So when we first go back talking and speaking to each other regularly and stuff, because we obviously a common interest is the motorbikes, and we went to do Luxembourg. You got me to do my route app, but I found, and I think it's everybody's kind of thoughts on it, is my route app isn't designed for Apple phones. They don't work. It doesn't work very well on Apple phones. It is an Android app. So I downloaded in Luxembourg. I downloaded the TomTom Go app, and it was brilliant. It did everything that basically Calimoto does. But when but they shut that down for some reason. They cancelled it. So I don't even think I got the free trial for Calimoto. I just bought Calimoto, and aye, brilliant. It does everything that the TomTom Go app does. It does everything that my route app, and works seamlessly on Apple. But aye, my route app is it's definitely, if you've got, my opinion would be, if you've got an Android, go with my route app. It works. It seems to work a lot easier on Android and phones than it does on Apple. And if you've got Apple, go with Calimoto, because I know obviously you're my route app.
Yeah, I started with TomTom. I had a TomTom 450. That's the old one. Got on my original bike, and then I upgraded it to the 550. And when we went to Budapest, I had the TomTom on the bike. And the big advantage of TomTom is that you don't need any internet or anything like that.
Aye, well, we found that.
We ran into a few problems with TomTom.
Aye, because it didn't update. It was taking us down roads that would be normally open, that they've shut down for that one in Czech Republic. It was funny.
It was funny, but it was something that I thought, it's not bad if you're in your own country and you're running about with a TomTom and you come to a temporary road closure, then you know you can find your way run about it.
Aye, but if you're in a country we don't really know.
If you're in a foreign country and you've no got, and you know yourself, they were temporary closures, so they weren't. It wasn't like it was a new road or something. You could have blamed them that the map wasn't up to date. It was something that was shut for the weekend because there was a festival or something.
Aye.
Then you need Google or something like that. And I thought, okay, I'll try something on my phone. And you gave me a amount for the phone, ultimate add-ons, and I tried that for a wee while. But I wear glasses for reading, and the phone was just a bit too wee. So I went now for a Capture ride, and on the Capture ride is like a big TFT screen, so you can just get your Google, your Waze, or your My Route app on a bigger screen that you can read better without your glasses on. So that's the reason why. Uh, if I'm just here and running about like when I went to get the DJI Flip, that was like 2 hours riding for here, but it's still in Holland. Then I just use Google Maps.
Aye, well, my bike has got a TFT screen, but I don't really use it because what I was finding with, sure, I was having issues with that when was it? I don't know if that was Luxembourg or the Budapest trip. I can't remember, but it was. So what was happening? I don't know if anybody else would be interested in why it happened to me, but so your network, if you were on your internet over there, would work flawlessly going through no matter what country you were going into. But because I'm obviously UK, getting through like Germany, Luxembourg, all different countries, the minute I passed the border, the phone would cut off, and then it would be a couple of seconds before it would kick back in again, which means then the TFT screen on the Africa Twin would just shut off, so my sat nav would cut off. So I'm in the habit now. I don't really use the TFT screen. I use my phone for everything, my nav. So I've always got the ultimate add-ons up with the maps on it. But that's just me. I don't see the point in me buying one of the Capture rides or something and then put it on. So having the screen for the Africa Twin and the Capture ride. My phone's big enough that it's about the same size as the screen on the Africa Twin. So that's the only thing I found. So if you're very UK and you're going into Europe, you just need to be mindful of that. If you're using the Africa Twin or a bike that's got a TFT screen, you can do that way. As it will cut off as you're passing through countries because it just loses the network and then it takes a couple of seconds and you have to stop and then reset it and then put it back up. So I found it easier just using the ultimate add-ons in the phone. And I've just never changed it.
Does that not help if you download the maps then?
Yeah, you probably could download the map.
German Jobby says that phones are no waterproof. You have to tell them about your ultimate add-on.
Aye, so yeah, well the iPhone that I've got, the 15, is waterproof. The only bit that it affects if it gets wet is the charging port. So if it gets wet, your cable gets wet, and you try to put it in your phone, it will tell you that the cable's wet and tells you to take it out. But I've got a case from Ultimate Add-ons that fits the phone and it's totally waterproof. So that's what attaches to my bike is and you can use the touch screen, use your camera, it kind of blurs the camera a wee bit. But it's totally waterproof. And we had it in going through Germany. That day going through Germany was proper downpour. And we were soaked right through to the bone. Yeah. Even the cameras. What about the vibration thing? Right, I'll get it right. So the waterproof wise, through Germany, we tested it in through water. The phone was fine. Vibration wise, So Ultimate add-ons, the case has got a rubber insert, so it stops that breaking your camera, and also depending on what mount you use as well. So the one that I've got currently on my bike isn't the ratchet strap one, it's the one that bolts on, but in between the bit that bolts onto the bike and the clip that clips the case on, there's a rubber mount there as well. So yeah, it stops the vibration for damaging your camera. I think that's what German Jobbies is talking about. Because originally, if you use a quad lock, were bad for it. If you bought the quad lock and you mounted it directly to the bike, because there's no cushion there, it would vibrate and then break the camera. So they had to bring out the anti-vibe thing as well. But what Ultima does is they've incorporated it into the design of the case and the mount. So the mount that you've got for the Ultimate add-ons is the ratchet strap. So because the ratchet bit's rubber, and there's a rubber insert just sits behind it at the arch bit that goes towards, that's the basically it says anti-vibe. Then you've got the rubber inside the actual case. So yeah, if you're looking for a case for your, I don't even get sponsored off them, and I should right enough the amount of stuff I buy off them and the amount of people I tell them. If you're looking for a case for your phone, the one that's shockproof, so if you drop it, it's quite a heavy duty case. It will protect your phone. It's anti-vibe or anti-vibration, and it's quick release as well. If you just click it on, you can unclick it, put it in your pocket and stuff. It's brilliant. I would definitely recommend Ultimate add-ons. And if you're having issues getting them, German Jobbies are there. Just I could probably arrange for you to get them. So I think you can buy them over there, can't you? I think you can buy them in Europe.
I don't know. I don't know. I've still got the one you gave me. And like I said, I had nothing against the case.
It was just
a couple of advantages. Or that you've got a screen that's fixed to your bike. That's one thing. The other thing is when you walk away from your bike, you've got your telephone in your pocket. And the advantage that it's just that bit bigger. Because I've got quite a big phone as well. I think my phone is just as big as yours. But still I had problems reading the small print. Because I don't wear my glasses while I'm riding because they're just for reading. So that was the reason, and I've still got the case. I was just looking to see if I could find a photograph of the 40,
Ultimate add-ons. I've Stephen next to me.
€45.
That's all right. It's a Scottish company, which is good. So that's why I looked at the quad lock system. But when I was looking at it, they hadn't brought out the anti-vibe thing. But I don't like the fact that it's just like a rubber case that goes in the back of your phone, then it locks on. Whereas I like the fact that Ultimate add-ons is a fully encased, lockable case. It locks around your phone, and it's quite heavy. And it's a Scottish company as well, so I'm supporting a local company by doing it. So, yeah, so if you're looking for a phone case, I would definitely suggest Ultimate add-on if that's the route you want to go, is putting your phone on your bike.
Yeah, because when I bought the GT Pro, it's got navigation in the TFT, but it's Triumph's own navigation, and it's turn by turn, and it's based on Google. And I think you can play with it. You can download GPXs and all that kind of stuff, but you don't actually see what's coming up.
Yeah,
it just gives you the next turn.
But it's depending on the type of rider you're. So that could be a good thing, no seeing the turn, and then sometimes it could be a bad thing, depending on what kind of rider is. Because you get fixed on the. I've seen some riders doing it where they're getting fixed on the sat nav and they're not looking where they're going. They're too busy looking at the turns and stuff. That rider will remain nameless, but that could be a bad thing. Because I was finding I was doing it. I don't do it that much when I'm here, but being over there, following you, knowing that there's going to be tight right hand hairpins going up through a mountain, I found myself sometimes looking at the screen rather than working at where I'm looking where I'm going. And a few times, as you've seen, I either cut the corner too tight or took it too wide, and that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
that's a good thing to talk about as well, because I'm going to say problems. There weren't problems, but how do you say that? No, it doesn't matter. It's something that we discovered when we were riding together for like 10 days or 15 days or whatever it was, 14 days. When you're on the front, you're in charge of navigation, you've got an extra thing to look at, and you try to watch in your mirror to see that the one behind you is still following you, that kind of stuff. And you try to watch your navigation, and I was forgetting to indicate, because I'm that busy watching what I'm doing and watching behind me to see if you were still behind me. I found that tiring and difficult, and I understood sometimes when you said to me, I don't know where you're going, because I wasn't indicating, because I'm that busy concentrating on making the turn.
The only time during that trip that it nearly became a problem, and nearly a bad one, was that day it was raining in Germany.
Yeah.
Because if people don't know, I'm quite an aggressive rider anyway, so I can really hit the brakes and turn if I need to, and accelerate quite quick if I need to. But that's all right if it's dry. But that day and German roads, I don't know if I found the German roads really weird. The bike stuck to the road, no problem, but when you put your foot down, it felt like you were putting your foot down in glass. But I was kind of worried in case I slammed the anchors on to take the turn. And that's the only time that it became a wee bit of a problem. Or I thought it was. That's the only time I ever overshot you and went, I'll be back in a minute. And if they turned when they come back. But it is, because it's, and I found out, I had me riding in a group for years. And then my two mates, they've just recently back on bikes, and my other brother's just back on a bike. And we were out on a trip where I was leading the pack. But what annoyed me most was I gave the back rider the same route. So we were coming up through the Three Locks Road, and I've took the turns, and I was sitting right at the end of the road, and then they've just rode right past me. But yeah, so I understand both sides. It being at the back can be a bit, and then take the leads a bit funky as well.
I've rode in the front and I've rode at the back. I don't like in the middle of the pack. And at the back, if you've not got navigation, because one of the big trips that I did was a few years ago where not everybody had navigation. I didn't have navigation. You try to keep the pack. You try to watch the last rider the whole time. And if you stop at traffic lights and all that kind of stuff, or do you know what I mean, if a car cuts out in front of you, the last rider's always got it difficult to try and keep up with the rest of the pack if you've not got navigation.
Yeah.
And I've been on runs where everybody says navigation, but they've all different toms, a telephone, Garmin's, and I hear a lot of people on the internet talking about that, how you get them exactly lined up that they have got exactly the same route. And that's I've seen that happening as well, where somebody thinks they have to turn left, and the rest all just drive straight on, and all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? So it's
Well, we had another thing. I think
it's bad if you're just doing a couple of hours. Do you know what I mean? But we were doing like 8, 9 hour days.
aye, well, it's I know it keeps coming back. I start to feel a bit like Teapot and his Teapotitis. I've been around the world, but the Budapest trip. Keep referring back to the Budapest trip, but that's where we found a lot of things out in the Budapest trip. But we had at the Budapest trip, we had the same. At one point, we were using the same navigation system and working off the same GPX, and even between the two is a bit different. Because we've spent one of the mornings gone, mine saying go left, you're saying no, mine says go straight on, mine says go right. We spent, and we couldn't work out why. We had the same sat nav, or the same app, the same GPX running off, the same GPX running off the same app, but it was telling us something totally different. Couldn't work out. That was the day. That was the day where we done the same kind of loop of the road 3 times. that was, I kept saying, well, the first time we did it, second time I went, I think we've been here before. You know, no. But it was near Luxembourg, because you're like, no, it was the last time we were here, we did this road. And then we went through that again. I went, no, this is the same one we did twice. So you find that even the same, it might just be because it's 2 different phones. I don't think you're ever going to get them exactly in sync. I don't think you will.
Somebody said that. Yeah, some of the apps are working on that. Some of the apps, I think my route app's working on that, and I think that Gally Moto was working on that as well. That you can, I saw another one, I think is it Curver, something like that, where you can actually share live the route, and you can follow the other riders. So you don't actually need the GPX. You just follow the riders.
Follow the rider. It was two different phones. It was 2 different phones. You've got an Android and I've got an Apple. So it might have been that. It might have been that. That's why it's just strange. It was so it can happen. You're not going to. In an ideal world, everybody would have the same phone, same sat nav, same app. But that's not going to happen, is it really? But the best thing for us, I think, for that trip was for both trips we did together, was the Caddles, having the Caddles. That definitely helped. Having them.
Yeah, I've done, like I said, not that I've been riding for that long, but when I started riding, I did a few big trips, and we didn't have communication then, and it was all hand signals. If you wanted to stop to go to the toilet or have a fag or you needed petrol, you had to try and catch the group up and try and signal to somebody to say, I need to stop. But that was part of the adventure. Do you know what I mean?
It just so happened when we started to get a point where we're getting lost, I was somebody had kept me up all night with a snoring. And
was that somebody else in the hotel?
I think it was somebody else in the hotel. And that's when it annoyed me. That day I was really tired. But that was only one day. I was a bit grumpy. But it was good. It's an adventure when you get lost. But there's only so many times when you're following somebody in the road that he thinks the road's open, but the road's not open. There's a big sign saying no end, dead end. And I'm in the Caddle shouting, "This is a dead end." No, my sat nav says we can go this way, but the sign says it's shut. That was fun. I mean, Budapest was brilliant. We've spoken about it a few times.
There was only one road. There was only one road I can remember where I thought we really shouldn't have been here. I don't know if you remember that. There was that. I don't even remember where it was. We were doing a wee road, and there wasn't even a road, and there was a wee hut at the end of the road, and it was a dead end, and it was all gravel. And we had to try and turn round. The one getting up the mountain, I didn't mind. Do you know what I mean? That was a real road. It was just that the road was shut. But there was one we was doing where I thought, I don't think we should be doing. I don't think
Yeah, because there was a couple of times that we had to jump out. What I had to jump off and push your bike back, then you had to your bike, then you had to push my bike back because we just couldn't get the bikes turned on. I tell everybody the Czech Republic one through the forestry. That's funny.
Oh, through the forest. Yeah.
Through the forest, get to the forest, roads shut, turn round, and you've shot up the road a wee bit. I've stopped to sort my sat nav out, and the next minute the guy bounces at the forest with porn on his phone, trying to show me his porn that he's just been in the forest with him like from out of here. Come on. But we learned a few things on that trip to Budapest. What not today and what today.
Yeah,
I think the way we booked the hotels was good.
I like that. I like that idea of not having a fast planned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just saying we'll stop in a couple of hours. Where are we going to end up? And then looking for a hotel.
I think
the only thing I would do differently, and we've spoken about it before, is we just rode constantly. We never actually stopped anywhere, except at night. And usually we end up, because we never booked a hotel, we usually end up, I think, maybe 50% of the hotels were in the middle of nowhere, in an industrial area, where there wasn't anything to do.
Yeah.
So I'd maybe take
Germany, and it was a Sunday or something. We ended up in Germany in an industrial state. And is it a Sunday that neighbours opened in Germany? Or was it a Monday? Yeah. It was a Sunday. We ended up. But I think booking it as you go is good for the fact that you're no constantly trying to chase yourself. And I think that's when accidents more likely happen, is because if you've had a short day the day before, and you're having to get to that hotel that you've booked 3 months ago, and you've got 600 miles to do, you're pushing yourself that whole day trying to get to that hotel, and that's, I think, where accidents would happen. But if you're just doing it the way we did it, one of the days, I think, one of the shortest days we did was like 160 mile, maybe something like that, 180 mile, and then we could do a long day the next day if we wanted to. Or if we went, we'll just do 200 miles a day or 300 mile, whatever it is, and then it worked out. But the downside is we realistically could have. How many days did we have for that trip? How many days did we plan for? Was it 14 days?
14 days.
Or was it 10 days for yours to Budapest? I worked out for yours. It was 5 days for yours to Budapest and 5 days back, wasn't it? And the way we did it, we actually did it in 8 days, because we had 2 spare days. We end up with 2. We go to the Black Forest and we end up going. We're 2 days early, and that's how we ended up. That's how we ended up doing that day and a half at Luxembourg. Yeah, because we just rode constantly. We never stopped. We never looked at things and stuff like that. Which why I would change that the next time.
Yeah. And maybe take some more time to book the hotel. Still do it that way, but just take more time to see where the hotel is and the stuff in the area where the hotel is. This year I went on holiday with my wife, and we did exactly the same. But we sat and we looked. And we tried to get hotels like in the town centre, or do you know what I mean, near somewhere that we wanted to see.
Aye, what you mean, for people who just case they don't realise what you mean, is take extra time to actually look where the hotel is. Take the time to look where the hotel is on the app to see if it is next. And don't just take your time looking for I know what you mean.
Aye.
Because we just kind of went like that hotel day and didn't even look. Like, where is it? Is it near this place? Is it near there? We just went there. That'll do. But don't get me wrong, the only time doing that where we end up in the middle of nowhere was actually quite nice, is the Czech Republic. That farmhouse, that was nice. Did I one that was kind of empty in the middle of nowhere? That was actually in the middle of a field.
Was that Czech or was that Hungary?
That was Czech Republic, because we came out of Hungary and we ended up in Czech. We ended up in Czech. It was the middle of nowhere. That was like you're not in an industrial state where you're hearing trucks bouncing about. You're not in the middle of a city centre where you're hearing people screaming. You're in the middle of nowhere. The place was kind of empty. We had pretty much the hotel to ourselves, and it was kind of nice.
That was nice. It was really in the middle of nowhere. I think when we left the main road, it took us about half an hour to get to the hotel.
Yep. That was
right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a couple of things that I learned that I would do differently. Is I would definitely do that way, but I would just take my time to make sure the hotel.
Aye. You're happy with the area that you're in, you're going to get something to eat. Like Germany, when we did that one in Germany, in the industrial state, I can never pronounce where that was, where the big concentration camp is. But the shirt, that was near there. I can never pronounce it. I'm not German, I'm Scottish. I can barely pronounce off my own words, I mean German words. Aye, that was an industrial state, and it just so happened it was a Sunday and nothing was opened.
Yeah.
And we walked for miles to try and get something to eat in the pissing rain. But it was a good trip. I mean, I've planned Gibraltar like that, where it's going to be.
I think we did well. I think bikes were good.
Yep.
Helmets, suits, the amount of stuff we took with us. We did all that. That was all right. I never had an issue where I thought, I should have brought something with me, or I took too much. I thought it was perfect the way we done it. Packing, planning. So the only thing was that we're just a couple of nutcases that just want to ride the whole day.
It is a bike trip after all.
And then you come back and you think, the only Budapest and the temperature. That was the only thing that we did do with the hotels. Was after a certain amount of time, we started saying, it's got to have air conditioning. Hotel with air conditioning.
It's got to have air conditioning. Aye, that's right. I remember that. That was because it was hot. I mean, because we went for being Scottish, as you know, we're not used to high temperatures. When we got to Budapest, I think the highest it was when we were actually in the centre of Budapest was, I think, 47 degrees. So it was hot. And but my suit, I mean, the suit that I had was brilliant, because our suits are very similar. Different ways of going together, but they're very similar. Where you've got an inner that's waterproof. I think yours is mine's an innerwear waterproof, but you take that out and it becomes like a mesh suit. So you can go for like -10 all the way up to high temperatures. Downside is I shouldn't have bought the black one. The black suit, I should have bought the maybe I got a different colour. But no, the suits were brilliant. I think everything we took away was brilliant. We did take the camping gear, which we didn't use, but I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So,
yeah. No, I remember we took the camping gear, we never used it. I don't think that was. I'd do that again anyway. Take it away just to be sure. No, there wasn't any kit or anything that I thought I should have took that with me.
I maybe should have took an air freshener from my dirty clothes. Honestly, I needed a respirator opening that. Getting panic when I come back, it was minging. And that was that day in Germany when it was raining.
That's one of the questions that I wrote down. I haven't asked you yet. It says, how long does it take you to unpack when you get back?
It takes me less time to unpack than it does to pack. Put it that way. I packed the exact same ways when I went to Luxembourg as well, and it took me a few days because I pack it and then I leave it sitting packed, and then I go, right, wait now, I'll take it out and check it all, then do it, and then take it out, repack it, take it out, repack it. Because I think we've spoken about this before. We're no. You see the bikes going doing tour and they're packed to the gunnels with loads of stuff hanging after bikes. We don't. I'm personally don't like that, and I don't think I could ride a bit like that. And I think you're the same. Having everything. So the way I kind of looked at it was these are the bags and piles I'm taking. If it doesn't fit in here, it's no gone. That's it. And the only time I've ever done it is coming back for ABR with my boots strapped to the top of my panniers. But no, I don't like all that stuff hanging off. So,
I can't remember. Did you buy because I ran out of t-shirts, didn't I?
I did that. I bought socks and t-shirts in Germany. Which, believe it or not, which I found I found that out tonight. I bought 2 t-shirts, right, for Germany. For that, what's the name of that shop we went in? It's a bit like Primark, but German Primark. K something. Aye. Well, I found the black t-shirt that I bought there, and it's the same black t-shirt that my Midas t-shirt's printed on. It's the same t-shirt, except this is Midas. I bought 2 t-shirts and a pile of socks because I'm a weirdo and I can't wear the same socks twice.
I took enough socks with me, but it was that hot. You were sweating that much that I ran out of t-shirts. Let's be honest. I don't know. I know you're not really a reader, and I'm not really a reader either. But I've read Jupiter's Travels, and that guy done that trip in the 1970s. So it's a different. You can these days you can buy if you're in Europe and you've got euros, you can buy the shops for everything.
Aye.
So there's no need to take 500 t-shirts with you and 1,000 socks and toothpaste and toothbrush and you know what I mean. You can take a toothbrush and toothpaste, but if you're running a toothpaste, you just buy toothpaste somewhere. You know what I mean?
There's a few things that I would change the way I pack is I would buy the cheapest soaps I could find and just bin them once I've done them. Take one pair of jeans, one pair of, and actually I was thinking about this for going to Gibraltar. I'm going to take my armoured jeans with me rather than taking a pair of jeans for going out. So because they look like normal jeans. Just a couple of these things, but you don't know until you start doing trips like that. You don't know what you take and what you not take. Because I packed probably the same amount of stuff for Luxembourg week, the 6-day Luxembourg trip, as I did for 14 days going to Budapest.
Some stuff like your camping gear. Do you know what I mean? Toothpaste, deodorant. Do you know what I mean? That if you're going away for 10 days or you're going away for 6, it's the same amount, isn't it?
Aye.
That's the way I look at it. It's the only difference is I'll take some of the, and maybe take, if I'm going outside Central Europe, I'll maybe take some extra tools with me. If I'm going to Luxembourg or into Germany for here, I've just got my basic tools with me. I've got cover. If anything happens, I just phone them and they come and pick me up.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
Now, I had a tool.
Got to check or Hungary, you don't know what the coverage is like, so then you take maybe a couple of extra tools. So just depends.
Now I've got a toolbox. You see, my toolbox is full when we went to Budapest just in case. But it was, there's definitely things with trips until you start doing them more often. Then you kind of. I think going to Gibraltar next year, I'm more prepared for Gibraltar now that I've did Luxembourg and Budapest. I'm more prepared for it. I know exactly what I need to take. I know exactly how I'm going to pack my bike, and I'll be fine. Really, I think. I've got all the kit that I need, so it's not as if I need to buy anything for going. So, alright. So
I've got one more question for you then, and that's on this whole subject.
Right, okay, go for it.
If you could take if you could only take one thing with you, right, out of these, what one would it be?
Right,
Your
go for it.
tent, your GoPro, or your coffee?
Coffee. See, if you asked me that about a year ago, I would say coffee. But I don't drink as much coffee now as I used to. So, GoPro. That's the one
Yeah.
thing I would definitely because I'm ex-army. I could make a tent out of anything. So I'll sleep. I'd sleep on the ground. I'd sleep on the ground just in my bike gear if I had to. No, GoPro, and the GoPro for one reason is the reason why I started doing YouTube was our trip to Luxembourg. And that's I've kind of spoke about this before in other lives and chats I've had with people. I'll put this question back to you once I've answered it. So I started the YouTube channel because we went to Luxembourg and we were coming down into Viaden for a way that we'd never been before, and I was at the top of the mountain and you were at the bottom. And then obviously the mountain carried on into Viaden. But when I looked down, I could see you going down the road, and that's the point I went, I should have a camera. And after that trip, literally within days of me coming back from Luxembourg, I bought a GoPro. And that's how the trip started, because you don't know what you're going to come across.
Yeah.
And that trip would have been brilliant to video. That first trip we did together, because we did see a few things and a few funny things happen, like the village where the road had been dug up, and we just went through the village, and underneath the boom of the arm of the truck loading up all the grit and stuff like that, and they were shouting at us, and that would have been brilliant to video. Then the road came down, and then a few other things. So, aye.
How many times have you been to Luxembourg now?
Oh, I love Luxembourg, as you can tell. 3, I think. 3 times.
I thought 3. Yeah.
3 times, I think. I love it. It's I think Luxembourg is brilliant, and I keep saying this to people that I speak to for here, and who want to maybe branch out and get into Europe, which new trips for me now are Europe, because I've did the whole I've did the NC 500 umpteen times, and Scotland's kind of outplayed for me now, especially with all the tourists and their camper vans. I've worked all over Britain and Ireland. Ireland's another place I would probably go. But people who talk to me asking me about going to Europe as a bike trip, I say to them, go to Luxembourg. Do a 6-day trip to Luxembourg, and you'll get pretty much, you'll know as soon as you do your first route out of that hotel, you'll know if you're going to like doing Europe. And I think that's what Luxembourg's good for, is for your first kind of approach.
I always explain it to people that it's like a combination of Germany and Scotland, but all squashed into a wee bit.
Yep.
So you've got all the switchbacks, you've got the forest roads, you've got wee tiny villages with like one restaurant and all that kind of stuff. It's all just squashed into a wee. So it's like like in Scotland, you can see all that stuff, but it takes longer between like the mountain and the village and the forest and the mountain and all that kind of stuff. And in Luxembourg, I've always got a feeling that it's like all compacted into a much smaller package.
Yep.
And you've got all that mountains, forests, wee tiny villages, wee small villages, pubs, restaurants. I don't know. That's how I kind of explain it to people.
Well, I just say it's people who have not really went and done bike tours in Europe. I say go there, go, because you'll get every type of road you'll ever come across in Europe. You'll get it if you're at Luxembourg, and you'll see. And your round trips can be as long as short as you want, and then you've got a wee base to go off of before you want to start doing like a big trip to like Budapest and stuff. Definitely, I think it is. I think it's an ideal place for somebody who's just wanted to dip their toe into in Europe. It's not that far away.
I don't know if German Jobby's still here, but he probably could tell you about the Eiffel. You would like the Eiffel. The Eiffel's a bit the German. I don't want to say that.
Well, I was meant to be. We were meant to be doing that in August, but obviously, we things happened that I ended up not. I couldn't come over, but I wish I would. There's still time today. That's another thing I'm planning. Maybe try to plan today next year is today another weekend, especially since you potentially will be coming to Gibraltar with me. Is day another weekend out of you and day Eiffel or day. I don't think Luxembourg would be an ideal because we've done it that many times, but day another weekend out there.
I don't know about you. That's one of the reasons why I asked you how many times you've been to Luxembourg. I've been 5 times, 3 times with you, and I've been a couple of times on my own. And I very seldom had the idea, except that first wee bit out the hotel, of course, but I very seldom, I sometimes think, where is that road that I did the last time? And I've got the trips, and I've got the GPXs, and I still think, where is that road that I did the last time? It's different every time. I don't know what that is. Well, the Eiffel's definitely
definitely a place. But originally the two boys my two mates that have just started back on the bikes again. Originally, that's the plan was we were going to do a 6-day trip to Luxembourg and then do a big trip. But the way it's worked out, it's they're just going to get flung in at the deep end if they go to Gibraltar. So, and it's all the Gibraltar ones. I'll share the GPX near the time, but it's all off road, pretty not off road, but all kind of dirt tracks and stuff. As soon as you get past the top end of the bottom end of France and into Spain, it's going to be all kind of sandy, kind of through villages. So it's going to definitely test them. But so what made you start doing, apart from trying to copy me? What made you? What made you start doing YouTubing and doing videos and stuff?
Exactly the same thing as you. I didn't have that moment that you said that you had at the top of that mountain when you saw me doing it at the bottom of the mountain. But I did have that feeling that that sometimes you can't explain it to anybody.
Right.
You can't. And still, even with all the cameras, with the 360s and the GoPros, the 2 GoPros, it still doesn't look the same as what you see.
Yep.
But then at least you've got a sort of memory to look back on and think, oh, I remember that, or do you know what I mean?
Because I get it with, I kind of get it with that logging road going through Czech Republic, that one that we're all getting bounced about on, is try to explain that to people. Do you know what I mean? Try to explain going through there, or the switchbacks going through, say, Luxembourg, or some of the switchbacks we did. I can't remember most of them ones. I mean, just try to explain things to people. At least you've got a wee bit more, and that's how the boys have now decided to go to Europe, is because I've showed them the videos for Luxembourg and Budapest, and they're going, "Wow, but we want to do that in the bikes." If it was just me telling them about it, that might have no sparked them into doing it. Do you know what I mean? So seeing it, they sparked them in. We want to go and see that. Like coming down through Spa, that road coming from Spa into Luxembourg, or heading towards Luxembourg, that road's brilliant. Where we nearly get wiped out with a pickup truck. And then finding the wee cafe just out of the river that sent us back up to go and get the water and stuff. I mean, just be things like that.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
I was in Luxembourg this year with you, and I went into that camping again.
Aye. Well, we've been at Carlton twice now. Well, you've been 3 times now, but we've been there twice.
Just for the fun. I knew it was a dead end. And I
Aye.
just went in for the fun. Went down there, because you just go to the bridge, didn't you?
Aye.
And then I turned around and they were all looking at me and I never even stopped. I just went in, crossed the bridge, right in front of the cafe, turned around and went back out again. It was just the idea that it was that nice there. You know what I mean?
Because the first time we went there, we found it. I think we found it just by chance, and then the second time we went was when we were there coming back from Budapest. We actually went. We'll go to that cafe. We'll go to that cafe and we'll have a coffee there. But it's just some things like that. You can explain it to people, but you just try to show them. Look, we've been there. We've done this. We've done that. And it's brilliant.
I'll tell you what actually, I've just done a video, right, and it's on my Patreon. You can look at it before it comes up on YouTube, because I've just gave it away for nothing on my Patreon because I've not got any members on Patreon. So it's up there first before it goes up on YouTube. It's the bit where we were going down through lockdown. So not even on one of our big trips, just a day trip. But take a look at that video and that road where we were going down through that mud and the puddles and all that kind of stuff. That's just, do you know what I mean? I went back there this year and took my wife back to lockdown because I've got that video, and because I looked at that video and I thought, that is absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. You're in the middle of nowhere. Actually, you're not in the middle of nowhere. Ayrshire there's enough villages going about, and you feel as if you're in the middle of nowhere.
Aye, it does feel like you're in the middle, because the road doesn't go any further. It's a really nice road down into the old castle and stuff like that. It's the same as like I've got that video where I'm coming for. I think I'm going for Straighton out to Dumfries, and it takes you right to, like you said, it'd be ideal for a drone. I did that and then showed the 2 boys, and they went, "Oh, take us there," and I took them there for a wee run and through the Dumfries and Galloway forestry and stuff like that. So that's the only thing. If I was to choose between these 3 things, my camera, because you'll come across something that you'll never see again. Coffee, I can do without now. And a tent, I can sleep anywhere.
A couple of people have asked me, do you film everything? And I film, I think 90%. When I'm out, I've got a camera on. One of my cameras is on. And I see a lot of videos with people with near misses and accidents and all that kind of stuff. And I have to knock wood, because that kind of thing doesn't happen to me.
Right.
Except that I fail and I filmed it. But you know what I mean? And I'm not complaining. I don't want any near misses. But sometimes I film stuff and it's just a load of rubbish.
Well, it depends. It depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes I'll take the camera with me on the helmet and then just no film, or sometimes I'll film. But that's not, if I take the camera and I don't film, it's normally somewhere that I've been that many times. Doesn't matter how many times I film it, it's just going to look the same. If I'm going for a day run, I will take the camera and probably record the full time I'm out. I might not edit and put the footage up, but I will film just in case. I don't always have. I'll not always have the camera facing me on the bike, but the one that's always on, regardless, is the one that's on the helmet. I kind of try and have that all the time just in case. Because if I see something happening, I've got that kind of big nipple thing on the record button. I can just hit it and it'll start recording. But it's not very. It's not very. Majority. I used to record all the time, regardless of where I was going and what I was doing. But it is dependent. If I'm going from here to MCS, or I'll no record. If I'm going from here to maybe East Kilbride, I'll no record. Sometimes I don't even have the camera on. on the helmet. But
Yeah.
Funny games. Right, that's us been on for over an hour.
I know, an hour and 15 minutes. I was just going to say, I'm dying for a cup of coffee and a toilet break. So,
but it's been. We'll do it again. So the plan is for these live streams. I think we're not going to do it as often as every week. I don't think we're not going to have that much to talk, especially coming up to Christmas and stuff like that.
yeah.
We're going to do a couple between now and January. So I think we're going to do it this Friday coming, and hopefully maybe get tripped on the bike on, and then it will be the end of November. Then maybe we might have a wee surprise one happening in December. We will say about why it's a wee surprise one, but the one on the last Friday of December might be an interesting one. And then we'll kick after the live stream once a month, the last Friday every month, starting for January. Just checking in, see what's been happening, see if there's any new news. As I say, I think every week, every 2 weeks is too close together. We're not going to talk. We're not going to have a lot happening there.
No.
And then we'll see if it.
Maybe different if you can get a couple of guests on or something. Do you know what I mean? But
that's what I was going to. Once people start realising we're doing it, if anybody wants to come on, just either hit Gary up, Scottishbikerabroad, or drop me a message, and we'll organise getting you on. We're not going to be one of their lives. You have to have a certain amount of subs to get on it. If you've got something interesting to say, we were happy to get you on to talk to you about riding bikes and motovlogging new air. So, like German Jobbies, if you want to come on, drop us a line. I don't know how to say that. Kim Tagu, is that right?
he's left. I think he's away to work. Said trying to get some work done, so I think he's away. What I want to say, you've organised this live stream, but I don't know. I'm talking to myself. Even if you've not got your own channel, when you're a bike rider and you want to talk about something, just let me know.
Same.
Try and get you on. So it's not just for vloggers. It's for people that ride bikes and have got something interesting to talk about.
Or something's happened to you, or you've got some useful information for other bikers and stuff like that. He's a message, because it's going to be, regardless, it's going to be me and Gary, or me and Scottishbikerabroad that's going to do the live all the time. So it's going to be one of us, even though it's running. So it's going to be one of the two years anyway. It's going to be doing the live, or both is. Sorry. So we can add all our guests on and stuff. So I give a wee hit up if you want to come on and talk about something, or happy days. Right. So catch you later. Please like, subscribe, and share if you've not already. And if you're on my channel and you're not subscribed to Gary, give him a sub. And if anybody's on Gary's channel, come and sub on me.
I was just going to say that. Right, no bother.
Right. See you on Friday. Catch you later. Yep. Bye bye.